I'm Fraser Simons.
I'm YG Mitchell.
And this is Young at Heart, a sports drama story game. Last time, Hoyt and Jake had just looked at the board, and I think that's the first time that Hoyt really drinks in all the zeros, right? Like the camera scrolls across all of them, and it's very slowly, so it's like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And I think he grins, Jake grins back, and Hoyt pounds him on the back with a clap, and he runs out to the mound.
Hoyt gets to the mound and he stands there to soak it in for a while, and he looks out across the crowd. They're all on his side now. Like, there's not one dissenting voice. They're all on their feet, and he looks up into the posh boxes and all the execs are on their feet. All the commentators in the corner are on their feet. Like, everybody wants him to finish the game perfectly.
From drinking that in, he sort of recuperates all the power that he had before, right? Like, before he was sort of slumped and tired, and there's like, you know, a voice in his head that's just one more time, right? And he lets out another one of those fastballs, another 115 miles per hour, and we get that sports montage thing with his arm going like 3 times, you know, where it pans back and pans back and pans back, and he does that 3 straight times all around like the same speed, and that first batter is just like eliminated and flabbergasted. Maybe he like leaves and like cracks the bat over his leg, right? He's so pissed off, and like throws it to the bat boy or whatever. Another 0.
He's seeing all these flashes of people's phones as they're taking the pictures. It's just kind of slow motion, continuous strobing effect of all these phones taking pictures of him as he winds up for the next batter who's on play.
And that's when like everything gets into heartbeat mode, right? Like the flashes are going, it slows down, and we get the thump of his like steady but erratic and enthusiastic heart beating. And I think this time he actually takes out the guy with a knuckleball, right? Like something super strange like that, because he just did 3 fastballs in a row, and now he's doing this weird pitch. Maybe he's just never had to ever use this pitch, and he's proving to himself that I can do this pitch, and no one will see this coming. And I think the guy doesn't, right? Like, we go point of view with the ball, zooming at the second last batter. It sort of wobbles and gets really weird with the knuckleball speed, and the guy is just same thing, like flabbergasted. Except this time, I think when the guy's eliminated, he's not super like pissed off. He's sort of like grinning, and maybe was like, I think at such a pivotal point in time like this, he's probably like happy to be a part of history, right?
Yeah.
You know, like he's like, it would have been great to hit that ball, but it's not the worst thing that I didn't.
So that's 2 outs. The last guy who comes up is the designated hitter, and he's this big, mean guy who's like, he's not in the team for his athletic prowess. He's stomping up onto the mound. He's never had to run in a baseball game because he just hits them out of the park every time, and he looks mean, and he's chewing something brown and gritty. He's only looking through one eye, and he's all unshaven, and he's massive, this big brute. He's giving Hoyt the eye.
There's no love lost between these guys. I think Hoyt's equally taken him out before, as well as this guy's landed a number of hits against Hoyt as well. So they sort of know each other somewhat. And I think that's when Hoyt just decides on straight heat again, right? Where he's just like, you can't tell anybody that I was afraid to give it to you, right? And he just like slams it into the glove, and Jake is like, God damn my hand. And on the last one, I think it actually does get hit.
So he hits it long. He hits it really far. And it is right down the first base line. Everybody in the stadium stops breathing because that is going out of the park one way or another. And it's right on the line. And the outfielder's going back and back and back and back until he eventually stops because it's going too far for him. The ball just sails wide of the foul ball line, like an inch or two at most. It's a foul ball.
So he's even more angry now, right? Like, his disposition was not pleasant after the first 2 strikes, and now he had to walk back from like midway to first when he just began walking his little triumphant walk of hitting all of them as he usually does. And I think just to be sassy, Hoyt throws a knuckleball at him, right? Like, super slow, super lazy, and the guy just doesn't see it coming at all. He swings, and it's like, when he swings, we see the ball sort of do that thing that people say on the documentaries about the knuckleball, where it seemed like it just like floats below their bat when they're about to hit it, and the strike is called.
The whole team rushes Hoyt. He hasn't even got a chance to celebrate. Like, all the players on his team and all the staff and all the coaches, everybody rush him and they pile on top of him, and there's just like a big bundle right in the middle, right on the pitcher's mound.
Everybody's rushing him, and he's, brought down to the ground and stuff. So we get like a face-up shot of his point of view with all these young men laughing and grinning and cheering him on and stuff. And as he looks up, there's just like the perfect day sky in his point of view, with the clouds moving and the sun's like perfect and everything's great, and he begins to grin. And then we have one moment left.
I think the final moment before we resolve our pride and heart is the whole team suddenly moving back really quick from the mound, panicking.
Don't crush the hero. That's when we'll do the pride scene. For pride, what happens is everything, like, we still have that heartbeat thing going on for Hoyt. He's very happy in the moment. And the reason why everybody gets off the dog pile and they're worried is he's unmoving. He still has that dream fulfilled smile on his face, but there's something evident in it that he's not well anymore. He's not moving. And that's when, if this was the movie, the heartbeat thing would turn into like a flat line, and it codes. From that, we go to a typical private room in an American hospital, and Hoyt is in the bed. I don't think anyone's there. I think his eyes aren't even open. Nobody's there. It's a very sterile looking room, but as the camera pans around, we start to notice the laughter of children playing baseball outside. There's like a music box that kids always have. Like, they're just playing for fun, right? It's not a league game or anything. And they have like a boom box or whatever they call it these days. And they're playing that same song from In the Greyhound.
It's a really beautiful day. Like, it's bright blue skies and it's really hot. And beyond the park is just miles and miles of wheat fields. And it's all kind of swaying in the breeze. We see a Greyhound bus drive past. It's on the road between the hospital and the park.
And I think there's like a that old Nokia flip phone is sitting beside him on the dresser. And I think there is like a whole bunch of, flowers and like get well soon and all that kind of stuff. The things that people buy in the lobby of the hospital. And one of them is like strangely a birthday balloon instead of like a get well soon. So there's all these get well soons, and then there's one that's like a different color, like blue or whatever, and it's like happy birthday with like tassels and stuff on it.
There's one picture on the cabinet next to the bed. It's a small like photo. You recognize the young Hoyt with his baseball glove. He's holding his baseball glove down by his side. His mum is in the photo. They're both facing the camera, and she's got her arm around him, looking very, very proud. The engraving on the bottom says Youth League Champions. The flatline sound becomes real in the room, like we know it's definitely coming from this machine. Obviously the nurses and doctors are alerted, and they come rushing in, and they attend to him. They try and perform CPR, and I think that's all the people that had kind of come rushing in to care for him. There's no loved ones at the window. There's no one at his side calling his name. I think we're just going to pan from this frantic scene of these people trying to revive him just to the photograph of him and his mum, her looking proud of him and him looking proud.
Hi, this is Jason from the Gauntlet Gaming Community. If you enjoyed this episode of Comic Strip AP, please consider supporting the Gauntlet on Patreon. Our page can be found at patreon.com/gauntlet.